Welcome to Healthy You, Goodness of Life. So today's recipe is dosa and idli batter. I'm going to be showing you how to make dosa and idli batter in a mixer, in a blender. So many of you wouldn't have grinder, so I will tell you my tips and how I make dosa and idli batter in a mixer grinder. So to start with, I've got I have soaked, so the ratio is 4:1, so that will be 4 glasses of 4 cups of idli rice and 1 cup of Urad Dal. So this is the Urad Dal, it's white in color, and here today I am using half cup of Urad Dal, and then idli rice is about 2 cups. Otherwise the ratio is 4:1. 4 glasses of idli rice, 1 glass of Urad Dal. So I've soaked this for about 8 hours overnight, and so I've soaked also the fenugreek seeds. If you have fenugreek seeds, it's something like in yellow color. I'll show you. So the fenugreek seeds are these. So these are the fenugreek seeds. It's it's easily available in Indian shops here. So it's mainly I use this. It's just one tablespoon, or even half tablespoon is more than sufficient. So I use this because the dosas will be brown in color. So now let's get started. The other thing I forgot to tell you is I have also soaked poha. This is white poha. This is called as rice flakes. This is also available in Indian shops. So I've also soaked this. And this is about half a cup of poha. So I've soaked all of this for 8 hours now. So first I will be grinding this Urad Dal and the fenugreek seeds. So grinding Urad Dal is, you don't need to add lot of water. If you add water, this Urad Dal won't grind properly. So today I am going to be using blender. I don't have a grinder, so I'll be using blender. In India we have grinders. If anyone has grinders, you can use grinder. That is more easier. Blender takes time, because we're going to put little by little and grind this. So first I'm going to take just the Urad Dal. Just take out the water. This is just about half a cup, so at one go I can blend it. Otherwise you need to do in 2 batches. I'm squeezing all the excess water. So I'll be just adding half or quarter cup of water. That's it. Just add little by little water and then grind it. I'll show you the consistency after grinding it. So now I'll blend this and I'll show you how it looks. So now you can see this is the consistency I want. So I didn't add much water. So you need to, I totally added about quarter cup of water. Just to start with, add just to like about 1 tablespoon water, and then accordingly adjust. So this took me total about 5 to 8 minutes to grind for about this consistency. You can see it's thick, and at the same time it's not too runny. So this is the consistency we want for the Urad Dal. So now I'm going to remove this and put this in a container. Next we'll be grinding the idli rice. If you're making vada, this should be more tighter. You don't need to add, it's very little water you need for that. So the vada recipe, you need to use the same batter, but it should be a bit thicker. I had a grinder, but that is actually repaired, so I need to get a new one. Blending in grinder is very easy. When you use the blender, it takes time because we need to add little by little, and you can't run the blender for too long, so you need to do it short times. So I'm just removing this. Okay, now I'll keep this aside. So next I'm going to show you, this is the idli rice. This is how it looks. You can see it. It's like rice, but it's little bit fat. It's like round in size. So this is also easily available in the Indian shops here. So I've soaked this also overnight. So I'm going to take only the idli rice, not the water. Just take the water, strain it like this. Okay. If you're using 4 glasses of rice, you have to do in 2 batches. So I'm using only two glasses, so that I'm using. So I'll do it in one shot. I don't have to do it in 2 batches. If you're using grinder, you can all put in one go, even if it's 4 glasses or 2 glasses. But you have to grind the urad dal separately and this separately, and then we have to mix together. So I've added the rice now. Next I'm going to be adding the poha that I've told you, that's the rice flakes. If you have cooked rice, that also can be added onto this, but I don't have today, so I'm going to be adding only poha. So next I'm going to put little bit water. I'm going to grind this, and I'll show you how it looks after grinding. So now you can see the consistency is, it should be, just rub it between your fingers and it should not be grainy. It should be nice and fluffy. You can see it. So I used about a quarter cup of water again for this one, and it took about 5 to 10 minutes to grind, and I didn't run this continuously for 10 minutes. I just took every 2 minutes I took it out, and I make sure the rice is not stuck on the sides, and I adjusted the water consistency accordingly. So this is how it looks. Now let's add this to this container. Just take as much as you want from the, don't add any water. So I've just taken everything out. So next I'm going to be adding the urad dal that we ground to this batter. So I'm going to mix both together. So now just give it a good mix. I'm using my hand. I've washed my hand. Using your hand helps in better fermentation. So next, going to give it a good mix like this, just in one direction. And I'm going to be adding about 1.5 tablespoon of salt. Give it a good mix again. So this needs to be fermented for about 8 hours. So I usually, if there's good sunlight, I keep it in sun, under the sunlight, not directly under the sun, but near the window. So today there is no sun. Even usually in winters there won't be sun here. So I usually put it on the in the oven. So I preheat the oven for about 5 to 8 minutes on 100 degrees Celsius. So don't keep it in a too hot oven. Make the oven warm enough. And I preheat the oven and switch it off and then keep this batter inside. I keep it for about say 10 to 15 minutes and then keep it outside. If you're keeping it in sun, keep it for 2 to 3 hours, that's fine. And then now the batter is all good to go. It needs to be fermented. So we can use this batter next day. So now you can see it's been overnight. It's fermenting overnight, and I had kept it in the oven. I had preheated the oven for about 5 to 10 minutes on 100 degrees Celsius, and it should be warm enough. It should not be hot. It should be warm, not hot. So I've kept it, I switched off the oven and I kept it overnight in the oven. Okay, now you can see it's risen well, and if I put the ladle, you can see all the small bubbles here. So that means it's fermented well. So now just give it a good mix. That's it. Now I have greased the plate for idli. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to add any water. When you're using it for dosa, you just have to take some in the container and add. I'll show you that later. First we will do the idli. Don't put too much because it's going to fluff up anyways. I'm just going to put a little bit. That's it. So now I'm going to put this in the steamer for about 5 to 8 minutes. So now you can see I've steamed the idlis. I'm going to remove this. So I just left it for about, I switched off the flame and I left it for about 2 minutes. Now I'm going to take water in the cup. I have this like a kind of a spoon. You can use any spoon. This is for especially for idli. You can just remove it very easily. There you go. There you go. My idlis are nice and soft. You can see. So here you go, my homemade idli is ready. So next I'm going to show you how to make crispy dosa out of the same batter. So now I've got the cast iron pan which is seasoned well. So I got here about 2 ladles of the batter. So I used about just less than 1/4 cup of water. The consistency should be like this. Should not be too thin or not too thick. Should be in between. For idli it was a bit thick. So this is the consistency. Next we'll check whether the pan is heated well. For that I'm going to be taking a little bit of water and just sprinkle. You can see that means the pan is nice and hot. Make sure this pan is well seasoned, otherwise your dosa will stick to the pan, so it won't easily come off. My pan is well seasoned. And preferably if you have non-stick, you can use non-stick pan, or it tastes good in the cast iron pan. So it's just going to pour in the middle 1 ladle of the batter and then just do like this. Keep your ladle flat and then do like this. That's it. And now I'm going to be using oil. I'm using gingerly oil, that is unrefined oil, wood pressed. I'm just going to just 2 to 3 drops of oil. So now keep the flame on medium flame. So now I'm going to close this with the lid. I'm going to leave it for about just less than a minute. Just keep checking. I just want to, the batter needs to be cooked. You know, so that's why I'm covering it with lid. I've kept the flame on medium. Now we will check. As you can see, the batter is all cooked well. So I'm going to turn the flame on a little bit more higher, so because I want the dosa to be brown and crispy. Otherwise your dosa will be just white in color. That doesn't look good. So now you can see the sides are getting brown. Now I'm going to reduce the flame, or else this side it's not got brown. So I'm just going to make it even brown. So I'm just going to reduce the flame a little more. Now we can see it's getting brown this side. So it needs to be brown this side. I just tinted because the oil should come here, just a little more on that side. So now to remove the dosa, I've got it's kind of a spoon, it's like a flat thing. So I'm just going to swirl like this. Just twist it over like that, and there you go. My crispy dosa is ready now. There you go. The crispy dosa is ready, and I'm going to you can listen to the crackle. So this is nice and crispy dosa. So So I've got nice soft idlis and this crispy dosa from the same batter. Please like, share and subscribe my channel. Hope you like this recipe and provide your comments below. And thank you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time in my next video. Thank you. Bye.